What's going on, guys? Josh here from JJ's Custom and Auto Repair. Shooting the rear disc conversion I promised you guys about. I'm using the GoPro, so we're going to see how this works out. I took one video already, but I didn't realize where the microphone was on this. You couldn't hear me for like the first 13 minutes of it until I moved here. So the rear disc conversion, it's a great conversion. It gives you the benefits of disc brakes, which I'm not really going to go over, but we're going to make this short and simple. It's not near as complicated as the front Toyota conversion is, because it doesn't require a special spacer and all that kind of stuff. It is really a direct bolt-on. The only thing that's complicated is the Ebrake, which with the Ebrake I've heard you can flip it, and where it connects up top there to the main cable. I plan on just loosening mine up, because it only takes just a little bit, maybe this much more to get it to bolt in. It's right there. So or you can make a spacer to take up that gap. The only thing with that I don't like is it requires 2 pins, and then you got the clunkiness of having a spacer in there, things like that. I know people have used it and it works great, but for me, the less parts I can have in there to fail, the better. So I already have all the drums tore apart. I figured you guys, if you're willing to tackle this by yourself, then you probably already have the know-how and the ability to find out how all the drums come off. You will need to, however, on the back here where the hose comes down, there's 2 10mm bolts. You will need to remove those and the bracket. It is right here. The bracket like this that sets back here. You will need to remove that. Obviously, you'll have to remove your e-brake from back here as well. So what you want to do is you've got 2 different options here. You can either take the stub shaft out, and which requires taking your axles out, and also requires, let me see if I get a little more light, there we go, requires replacing the nut on the back. And while you're already there, you might as well replace the seals and the bearings and all that, if you're like me, which is more than I want to do right now. I have new CV axles, which I'll shoot a video on that as well, doing the CV axle upgrade for the Z31, the 4-bolt, also through Modern Motorsports. I will shoot a video on that. So I don't want to pull this all apart if I'm just going to have to pull it all apart later to do the axle upgrade, which is going to require buying another nut. Also, I'm going to do the coilover kit. I finally got my struts for it, with the sectioning and all that, welding it up and showing you that. But that's going to come a later date. The car is almost done. I've got it running. I got to set a tune for it. I've got the exhaust built most of the way, about 3/4 of the way. You can probably see the muffler dangling down here, but that's just because we wanted to shove it in to see what it was going to sound like. So really the only thing left is this rear disc conversion, and set it back on the ground and make sure everything's good. So I did want to make sure I shot this for you guys. I told you I would shoot it. So the options is remove the stub axle or cut the shield like I did. If you cut the shield, there's a couple of different ways. I thought about using my plasma cutter because I have it, but I was afraid of damaging something else as well, and shooting sparks all through the shop. So what I did is I took my air saw, which you can see the end's pretty bent up now. I took it. First, when I did the other side, I cut straight down, which ended up to, when I got to about right here, I had to angle it, which means I was just sitting there smacking the backside of the axle housing there, the tube, and it ended up gouging it pretty bad. But I found out if you come at an angle like this, pretty almost as parallel as you can get it, you can cut pretty much the entire way down, and just a little piece is left, but you can end up breaking that off once you get both sides cut. I also chose to cut it right here because I already had this nice gap here, so less metal I had to cut. You do want to go ahead and loosen the bolts right here before you cut it. The reason being is when you loosen them, there's actually a little bit of play, so it gives you a little bit more room. So just like that, when you cut it in 2 pieces, you can pull it apart. Same for this side. Sorry guys, I'm having to hold the camera so you can actually hear me when we walk through this. So that comes off. Alright. Then you grab the bolts you just dropped. Alright. And you grab your adapter plate. The plate that Modern Motorsports sells. Alright. It's going to be kind of tricky with one hand, but just stick with me, guys. I may just have to kind of start these by hand, and then, which this is just mock-up anyway, because I'm pulling my calipers back off to paint them and all that. So I just wanted to show you guys this, that way when they're painted I can slap them on and just go. I don't have to worry about filming or anything like that. Not that I mind filming for you guys, but I'm at the point now where I'm almost done. So it's one of those, do I keep up with my promises and make sure I film it, or do I just slap it on and done and say sorry? But I don't want to do that. I told you guys I'd film it, so I'm going to film it. So you want to get those started in there like that. So you can see there's supposed to be 3, but like I said, mock up 2 will be fine, just to show you what's going on and how to do this. Then you take your rotor, there it goes, slide it on, which it may not stay. You can see your wheel will actually hold this flush. So you take that, slide it on. This is gonna be the tricky part. All right, now your caliper uses 240SX caliper, S13, which is I don't know years on the 240SX. I'm sure you guys know the difference between the S13, S14, and S15 as far as years. If not, quick Google search will tell you. This one I believe was 89 or 90s models, what it came off of. You will need the mounting bracket and the caliper itself. One of my friends hooked me up with a killer deal. It just so happened when I needed mine, he was converting to an R32 setup with the dual caliper for his Ebrake. So he had this just laying around, and I bought him his braided lines, and he gave me these, real generous of them. So he hooked me up with that. So you need it, and it will use the factory bracket. Let me see if I can set you guys down here. There we go, you should be able to see it. It'll use the factory bracket. Yeah. It'll use the factory bracket. It'll just slide into place here. Like I said, I'm just going to start these because this is just to show you guys. I really don't want to get everything snug and tight because it's all going to have to come back apart anyway. So, there we go. Just like that. And I do know I do not have a pad in here. I was messing with the Ebrake setup to see how much wiggle room I had, and pressed the Ebrake a couple times. So I pushed the piston too far out, and I've got to take them all apart to clean them and paint them anyway, so I didn't feel like pushing it back in just for the video. But you do need a pad here, obviously. So, and the brake hose is a 240SX just off the factory car. I had to order new ones from AutoZone, direct from the vendor, so you have to prepay and all that. I'm sure you can find them on Rock Auto and stuff, but I didn't feel like waiting. And it will slide into your factory mount here, and you can put the little clip back in for it. And I had to get the Banjo Bolts. In case you're looking for them locally, they're an M10 by 1.0. AutoZone, O'Reilly's, places like that have them. It's Dorman 13912. The back of the package, let's see, I don't know if you can see that. It says it fits 2002 to 2006 GM models. And you need that, and you also need washers in between top and bottom, the brass washers. I got this kit here, Dorman 66250. It's got a bunch of different assortment sizes. I'm sure I probably won't end up using most of them. It'll probably require a second kit for the second side, but it is what it is. Okay, now on the Ebrake, I think this is why people say you should flip them. Let's see if we can get some light up in here. All right. If you could see, Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to get this. This light stick is awesome. It comes from Harbor Freight. It was like 20 bucks. The only or maybe 30. I think I got it on sale for like 25. The only thing is the battery life's not that great in it, but outside of that, it does really good. But the Ebrake, once you see it's a little too long, and once you slide it in place here, which is easier said than done with one hand. There we go. Once you get it slid into place, you can see that this is just a hair too short there. Get my hand out of the way so you can see. Just a hair too short. Barely. I mean, you could probably, and when I get this all bolted up and stuff, I may find out that I got a little more play than I think I do in it. But you can either tighten it up and make a little plate to go right there. Supposedly if you flip them, I don't think flipping them will get you any more length here to make it bolt up. Some people say it does. I don't know. I'm just going to loosen up my Ebrake cable and get the rest of that length out of it. The only thing I'm worried about, as you can see already, it's hitting the axle housing. So what I'm going to do is probably either zip tie it up here like this so it's off the axle. The only thing I'm worried about is binding, because it kind of puts it in a weird angle, but I think it'll be okay. I don't think it'll be an issue. And then I know a lot of people will pinch this with some big pliers to make sure that this stays in, because there's not much room anymore to put the clip back in. And outside of that, you know, the brake hose fits right into the factory brake hose from the 240SX to your hardline off the 280Z. Everything else bolts up. That's pretty much it, guys. It's a really simple swap. If I missed anything or you had any questions about anything else with this rear disc conversion, just let me know in the comment section below. Anything else you guys may want to see, like I said, I'm going to do the rear coil or the coilover conversion, not just for the rear, for the front as well, using the MR2 struts and the 280Z front struts, showing you how to section them and stuff like that to lower the car. And the 300ZX axle swap is to come. That'll be later on down the road. I'm going to wait since the car's so close to running. I'm going to get the brakes upgraded and drive it, tune it, enjoy it for a little bit. I got a couple other projects I want to get finished, and then we will come back and we will do the axle upgrade and the coilover upgrade. So for now, guys, I think that's it. But if there's anything I missed, any technical detail or any info on the parts or anything like that you guys want, just let me know in the comment section below or message me. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And stay tuned for more, guys. Peace.